If you're trying to make a living off music videos, you're going to need my presets. I got new After Effects presets, new Premiere Pro presets, music video presets, link in the description, 10% off. If you already bought my presets, check your email because you get $10 off. First thing you're going to need is you're going to need the Element 3D plugin. If you don't have it, get it. It's the best 3D plugin in After Effects. The link is in the description below. Next thing you're going to need is a 3D object you want to spin around. You can do this with diamonds. I've done it with planets. I've done it with money. I've done it with OBJ sequences itself. So you can use any 3D object, whatever, and it'll work. So first thing, we have our clip here. Now I shot this clip on a tripod. If you didn't shoot your clip on a tripod, you're gonna have to camera track your scene. But since I shot it on a tripod, it means the camera's not moving. You don't have to do any of that. So now we can just start straight into it. First thing is we're gonna have to Rotobrush our subject. If you watch any of my tutorials, you should know how to do this. You click this little guy on the top here, double click your scene, and then go ahead and paint out your subject. Now this is the base for every editor. Rotobrush and rotoscope is gonna be the thing you're gonna be doing the most if you're ever doing music video edits, or even, I guess, video game edits too. And I suggest, it's good to learn. I'm also sad that I'm exposing this effect because no one else done it, but that's okay. Every time I see this effect, I'm gonna be like, yep, you guys are missing. So after you rotobrushed it, this is you're gonna be your final product. You're gonna have a background, but yeah. So this is fine for the tutorial. And let's move on. So now you're gonna want to add your 3D object to the scene. You're gonna go down here, right click, new, solid. Go ahead and name it element so we don't get confused. And then now right here on the effects and presets, we're gonna type in element, video copilot element. We're gonna go ahead and drag that onto our element layer. It should go away, and the scene setup should pop up right here. Go ahead, click scene setup, and this window should pop up. Go ahead and import your 3D object you want. I'm gonna use this bendy dollar bill. I'm gonna normalize the size. And like I said, you can use any 3D object, even OBJ sequences I use this on. So yeah, so this is fine right now. I'm gonna click OK. So with everything right, you should have a dollar bill in your scene with your subject in it. Now we need to increase the dollar bills to make the vortex. So I'm gonna open this up. I'm going to increase the particle count to 20. And then now if you see nothing happens, it's because all of the particles are in the same location. So we need to open up the replicator effects now. And scatter, I'm just going to increase this and type in 100. You can see the money is pretty much flying everywhere. If we type in 50, we lower it down, it'll, condense it. Right now the money itself is too big, so now we need to go to the particle look, and then we need to change this particle size down to where the money is kind of normal. Right here is good. Now you can see all the dollar bills are facing the same way, so now we need to open up particle rotation, and on this random rotation, go ahead and move that a little bit. Now if you see, we have money like this. Now before we move on, we're going to need to create a camera in the scene. So we're going to select down here, right click, new camera, and these settings are fine. Make sure your focal length isn't something too crazy. Click OK. And now if you look at it, the money did move a little bit. That's because Element 3D is affected by the camera. Alright, so now we need to make the animation of the money spinning around. So the way I like to do this is I don't like to mess with the group 1 animation set already. I like to change the world transform. So if we go over here to world transform, if we open up the world rotation, and if we move the Y, we'll have the more money effect. So I'm just going to go to the beginning of my timeline right here, keyframe the Y rotation, go to the end, and I'm going to type in 4. And now if you take a look at it, the animation should do something like this. Right now the money is a little bit too scattered for me. I'm going to go back to my group 1, my scatter, and I'm going to lower down this Y scatter so it's more condensed. Now if you look at it, we have this type of animation. So this is pretty much the money animation, but you notice that the whole reason is the money is in front of our subject and our subject isn't inside the money vortex. So this is how you do it. So I've seen a lot of people do this. I've seen people try to put a green cube inside and then key it out. I've seen people just do masks around the 3D objects. Trust me, I've practiced this for years. I've tried to figure out for years, and this is the best way to do it. So you're gonna want to close all your arrows down just so we can see your element layer. On your element layer, go ahead and click open up the output. Right here where it says composite, go ahead, open that up, and then click on Z depth, no AA. Your screen should turn white, that's fine. And then now what you need to do is you need to increase the Z depth until you start seeing the money in your scene. So you don't have to make your Z depth super big. You can make it around 9,000, just make sure all the bendy bills are in scene. And now what you want to do is you're gonna want to have the bendy bills that are in the back. So like you can see, these are technically in the back if I move backwards, right? You're gonna want to have them pure white. So by doing that, I'm gonna decrease the Z depth, and you can see the bills in the back start disappearing into the white. And then you're gonna want to see these, how they're gray. You're gonna increase the Z depth start into where they're more black, and then decrease the Z depth end more to more white. Now you can see right here, the black is the bills that are in the front, and then as soon as they go behind him, they start disappearing into the white. So the next thing we want to do is we need to see our elements layer. Go ahead and duplicate that by pressing Ctrl D, drag it beneath our rotoscope layer, and then now with this layer selected, change the Z depth to composite. Now we need to select our rotoscope layer, and right here where it says none, go ahead and click Luma Matte Inverted. And now if we take a look at it, we have dollar bills going behind him and dollar bills going in front of him. So you see the dollar bills going behind him right here, and now these dollar bills are going in front of him. And that's how you do it. Now if you take a look at it, other than this dollar bill right here, I would change the scatter settings so that wouldn't be there. But that's how you do 3D objects around a person. Add motion blur to both of the elements. Now you have 3D objects around the person. That's basically it. Like, subscribe, see you later.